I've been posting on this YouTube channel for a few months now, and I realized that I haven't really gone over what I've done to my car, the spec or anything. So this video is just going to be an overview of what G80 I have, what I've done to it. Before I get started on the video, I'm going to do the results of the M plate frame giveaway. So those of you who commented on the last video between the numbers 1 and 250, whoever is closest is going to win it. So winning number is 148. Then I'm going to do two more, 181 and 188. So if the first person or second person doesn't respond, it'll be on to the third. And congrats if you're the winner. So starting out with the general spec, year, model, and all that, obviously it's an M3. It's a 2022 G80 M3 competition. It's the rear wheel drive variant, not the X drive. The color is Brooklyn Gray. So this is a wrap for those of you who have been following on here or Instagram. This is a wrap which I'll go over in further detail. And the inside is Fiona Red. Fiona Red, not the full leather, so I don't have the color matched lower dash. You can see the Brooklyn Gray here. And I do not have the carbon buckets. These are the comfort seats. The spec regarding what I option is ventilation on the seats. So I have heated and ventilated seats. Then, of course, you gotta have an M3 with carbon roof, no cost option. So you can either select a sunroof or carbon roof. I wouldn't take an M3 without the carbon roof. Not because a sunroof isn't useful, but what other car comes with a carbon roof as a no-cost option? It's just a cool thing to have. It's a special thing that the M3s are known for. So to me, if you're going to be buying an M3, it has to have a carbon roof. And then the only other no-cost option are the red calipers. So you're able to choose between black, blue, or red. And because I spec'd the Fiona Red interior, I felt like red went better with it. Now that I have the green wrap, it looks a little Christmas spec with not just the brake calipers, but the red interior. But not a big deal. Who doesn't like Christmas, right? And it's a 50th anniversary, so they came with these emblems here, and the wrap shop actually got a little creative and cut out some of the green and put it in the emblem here. At first, I didn't know if I liked it, and honestly, I forgot it was even there. So during the making of this part of the video, I was like, oh yeah, I have a little green thrown into the emblem. I don't know how I feel about it, but I'm not gonna mess with it or take it off. The next thing I spec'd is, are the laser lights. And I'll go over, the different mods I've done. Obviously they're yellow. That's not how they come from the factory. I don't have any other packages spec'd, so I don't have executive pack, parking pack, or anything like that. But I did purchase from the BMW online store. For those of you who don't know, if you have a G80 that doesn't have exec pack, you could just purchase that remote start. The hardware is already built into it. It just takes the download for the software to activate it. So let's start on the outside before it gets too dark. So like I said, this is Brooklyn Gray, and again, you can see it in the door jambs, but it's wrapped in a PPF wrap. So this isn't a regular vinyl wrap, it's a colored PPF, and it gives it more of a paint-like look because PPF, of course, is a much thicker material, protects the paint, whereas vinyl is much thinner. It gives you a nice look, but it doesn't protect the paint. The name of the color is British Racing Green Aurora Metallic. It's available from a company called Flecked. I'll put them in this video here so you can check them out. They have other colors. And it was wrapped by Ceramic SoFlo. It's a Ceramic Pro certified shop out in Pompano. They did a great job. So moving on to the wheels now, as you probably noticed, these are BBS. They are the BBS FIR Evos in citrine gold. They are 20 inches diameter by 10.5 inches wide. So I went with the square setup because the way that they normally come is a 19 diameter wheel up front and a 20 in the rear, and I just didn't want to have a smaller wheel in the front. On the front, I am running a 10mm spacer. The fitment is extremely flush. Get a little bit of rubbing, but not too bad. And then on the rear, I have a 295 tire, whereas on the front I have a 285, and I'm not running a spacer. It's pretty slammed in the back, and with the spacer I was getting a little bit of rubbing over here, and I just didn't want to deal with it. So the next thing you'll notice is the height of the car. It's lowered on, not springs, it's lowered on Öhlins Road and Track coilovers. So I actually used to be lowered on KW has springs, so they're just normal springs that you can adjust the height on. But for some reason on the G80s, the fronts just didn't go low enough. So Öhlins came out with these coilovers and they go extremely low. As you can see, the tire is tucking just a little bit. They can even go lower than that, but that's maxed out for me. And then in the rear, of course, also slammed. Pretty much an even setup in regards to the height, front and back. What do you guys think? Good height, too low. Fortunately, here in Florida, or at least this area where I live in, the roads are pretty good, so I don't really deal with rubbing issues. The roads are nice, no potholes or anything like that. Like I said, I didn't spec anything on this car, no packages, so I didn't spec the carbon pack, which I think kind of a waste of money. They charge, I think, almost $5 grand, and you get the the ducts over here, you get the carbon mirrors, which I don't really care for, and you get a dinky spoiler, which I would change out anyway. The diffuser is nice, I guess, but again, not really worth it to me. So being that this car didn't come with any carbon on it, everything you see here is aftermarket. It's from a company called Reventon Industries. So you can find them on Instagram. They're based out of Poland, and they make all of their parts in-house. They don't drop ship. So quality is very nice. So let's get a closer look. So we have the CSL style front grille, carbon. Got the V style, so Vorsteiner style front lip here. And I see these everywhere. My lip, not being biased, is my favorite just because it sticks out pretty far. I've seen other V styles where they sit in closer, maybe ½ inch to inch, and it just doesn't look very aggressive. The ducts pretty much look like OEM. Really good quality from Reventon. Everything is dry carbon. And then we also have side skirts from them. So these are full replacements, OEM style and performance carbon side skirts. So direct snap in, no tape or anything. I just took out the stock ones and riveted in from the bottom in these stock holes. So perfect fitment. Then moving on to the back, we have more carbon from Reventon. We have the rear winglets here. I love the look with how they pop up over here, and they match with the side skirts. And then as we move along here, we have the carbon diffuser from Reventon. One of my favorite pieces and one of the first pieces I got from them. It has the third brake light here in the diffuser, which is a very unique look in my opinion, this style that they make, because the diffuser itself has an OEM style. It's not over the top with different shapes and stuff thrown in. It's pretty much OEM style with the diffuser light just kind of added in. And then as we move to the top, just a standard duckbill style spoiler from Reventon. Nothing crazy. That flows with the G80s, because as you can see, if you have a carbon roof, you have these little fins on the side over here, left and right, and they kind of line up perfectly with the little cutouts here on the spoiler. So little details like that to me make a big difference. And so I have the diffuser wired to only light up when the brakes are pressed or if the car is locked or unlocked. There's a way to wire it where they stay on with the taillights, so when the taillights are on, the light's on, but I just didn't want that. So I'm gonna lock the car and unlock so you could see what this light looks like here. So here we go. What do you guys think? You like the third brake light down here on the diffuser? Not a fan. When I first saw it, back when I had the M2, I wasn't a huge fan of it. I thought it looked a little rice, but it looks good. It's not really super noticeable when you're just looking at the car with it off. You might not even notice that that's a light until you brake or unlock or lock the car. And then back to the front. So as you've noticed, I have the CSL style yellow headlights. I just wanted to do a mod, and they were on sale during Black Friday. I got them from Vinyl Designs too, he's actually the guy who originally came out with these modules to change them out. So I knew that the ones he was selling were good quality, and it was a pretty easy install. And the exhaust setup, which I'll post some clips of me driving, as well as some clips that I took in prior days of the exhaust. But the setup is a 3.5-inch single mid pipe from MAD, Mastery of Art and Design, along with their Fat Boy catless downpipes. And I do not have a check engine light. I've never had a check engine light in almost 3 years of running this setup, and the reason is I have those mini cats, little SIMs that go on the O2 sensors, and they trick the car into thinking that there are cats on the car. Some people say that it kind of doesn't work 100% of the time. They'll get a check engine light and they have to clear the code. For me, I've never had a check engine light, and I've driven this car to Orlando, so 3 hours straight driving and never had a light come on. 10,000 plus miles with the setup, no issues whatsoever, and I think it's one of the best sounding setups for this car. This engine, the S58, as you guys probably know, isn't the best sounding engine with those twin turbos. You can make it sound good with a single turbo setup, but with the twins, this is, I think, the best setup that that you can get. From MAD, I also have a valve controller, and I have it programmed to the mirror buttons here. So I can open it up by pressing that. I don't know if you can tell, but in the video, the car just got a lot louder. The valves open 100%, whereas in Sport Plus or whatever, they don't open all the way from the factory. I like it because you get more turbo spool at the slower speeds. And the Öhlins coilovers, they handle insane. Everything's flying around here in the car, and the hood, you could see peeking from behind the grills, front mount intakes. So I got these just for the sound. They don't really add any performance, but they give an awesome sound. And you can see that they are gray. I matched them to the paint. So on the inside, I like to call these the fuckets instead of carbon buckets. They're fake carbon buckets. This is also from Reventon. They're just the carbon seat back pieces. They also sell the full seat back, but I was okay with just the top part. Didn't want to overdo it with carbon in there. And then on the inside here, I have the magnetic paddle shifters. They make a huge difference in regards to feel. Obviously no performance change, it's just a magnetic paddle shifter, but when you click it, it feels cool. It definitely gives you more engagement when you're driving the car. Yeah, that's pretty much it regarding the mods I've done. It looks like there's more done than there actually is. I don't have a tune on the car, no XHP, never sent the ECU out or anything. So stock power. So that's my G80. Those are all the mods I've done. Again, pretty straightforward, pretty easy. Wheels lower, some carbon, and these cars look great. If you guys have any questions about the different things I've done, or if you want any tips about your G80, just comment, let me know. Or you can send me a DM on Instagram. Let me know in the comments what you guys think of my spec. Like, did I do it right? Would you change anything about it? Do you like the wheels? Do you like the wrap? The color combination's a little funky with the wrap being green and the interior being red. A little Christmas spec, but who doesn't like Christmas, right? Anyway, that's all I have for this one. If you haven't already done so, drop a like on this video, subscribe to the channel. I have more coming. Thank you, and I will see you in the next one.